Now 35, sir. Now 35 and 15 at the beginning of 760. 716 at the beginning of 764. 778 at the beginning of 778. Sold heifers.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2007 World Livestock Auctioneer Championship, coming to you from Springfield, Missouri. I'm John Korrey from Iliff, Colorado, and host for this exciting program exclusively for RFD TV. With me today is Lex Madden, the 1998 World Livestock Auctioneer Champion and co-owner of Torrington, Wyoming Livestock Markets. For the next hour, Lex and I will be bringing you the highlights from the 44th Annual Livestock Auctioneer Championship, where 33 of the top auctioneers from across the U.S. and Canada will go through an interview process and live auctioneering competition on the way to capturing this prestigious title. Each year, the World Livestock Auctioneer Championship is held in conjunction with the Livestock Marketing Association's annual meeting. And for the first time ever, it's being televised for your enjoyment. Our thanks to the fine folks at the Livestock Marketing Association and the sponsors of our show for making it possible to share this great event with all of you.
That's right, John. Few things in the livestock industry have such a long and storied history as being a livestock auctioneer. The chant and fast-paced action of facilitating the exchange between buyer and seller captivates people of all ages. Today's program will certainly provide an entertaining and informative look at the profession and the talented people behind it. For 60 years, Livestock Marketing Association has been serving as the trade organization representing the interest and serving the needs of livestock auction markets across North America. And for 44 of those years, LMA has been hosting the World Livestock Auctioneering Championship at venues all across the country.
Lex, as past world champion and someone who has been in the livestock auction business for 19 years, tell us what this event means to the industry.
Sure, John. And as a past world champion yourself, I think you'll agree that this is the premier event and pinnacle accomplishment that almost everyone in the livestock auction profession shoots for. It's achieving the highest level of recognition from your peers and thousands of livestock market owners and livestock producers from across the country. Along with the recognition comes a whole lot of travel and prizes for being named champion. This year's contestants are vying for the privilege to drive a brand new truck for the coming year and walk away with thousands of dollars in cash and prizes, including the World Champion's belt buckle, brand new resist-all hat, and much more. We'll talk more about all the prizes and the perks that come with the championship title later in the show.
We'll be right back with more from the 2007 LMA Annual Meeting and World Livestock Auctioneer Championship.
In today's competitive beef market, a brand means more than ever before, and Tri-Merit is adding value to your brand. Tri-Merit is the convenient, comprehensive online data management system that redefines branding to maximize productivity and increase marketability. Tri-Merit provides agent source verification and much more. Plus, it's secure, flexible, and easy to use. To find out how Tri-Merit can add value to your brand, go to trimerit.com.
Welcome back to the coverage of the 2007 LMA Annual Meeting and World Livestock Auctioneer Championship. We're grateful for all of the hard work and effort of the Livestock Marketing Association in hosting this first-class event that is so important to our profession. Each year, the WLAC is held in conjunction with the LMA Annual Meeting, where the livestock marketing industry comes together to share information, discuss the latest issues from Capitol Hill, and improve member services to the auction markets, which in turn benefit the livestock producers.
John, it's hard to believe that 60 years ago the Livestock Marketing Association began as a grassroots organization dedicated to providing auction markets with access to the latest industry information and a voice in the federal and state government. Over the years, LMA has successfully stood up in the rights of independent auction markets against unfair government regulation. Members of the association boast a proud heritage of being at the forefront of innovation in the marketing of livestock, helping to bring positive change to the industry.
Even with all the changes in the livestock production and marketing, LMA remains committed to its core mission of supporting the competitive bidding process and the price discovery and helping producers achieve fair prices for their livestock. This is the reason we as livestock auctioneers exist. During the Livestock Marketing Association meetings, Lex had a chance to visit with Jim Santamasso, president of the Livestock Marketing Association, to get his views on the state of the industry.
Oh, the auction market in the community that they're in are a vital part of every community. They pump so many dollars in, you know, a dollar turns over, what, 3 to 5 times in a community, and anymore, especially with the values that we are receiving now for the cattle. It's nothing to have $1 million sale, and you turn that over 3 to 5 times in a community, it's just absolutely vital to one. And if you ask the retail merchants in all these communities where an auction market is, what's their best day? It's the day that auction market is running, because the families come to town and the dad sits there and watches the cattle sell. Mom and the kids go buy something at shops all over town. So it's a tremendous boost to the economy. And my travels, I've been everywhere from California to Georgia to Texas to Arkansas to all the state meetings. And there are some issues that are specific to an area, but a lot of issues are the same that you face in Wyoming, I face in Colorado. So it's just banding together and helping each other.
The LMA annual meeting provides an opportunity for different organizations to come together and exchange views about the industry. A perfect example was when Mark Mackey, LMA's Chief Executive Officer, had a chance to catch up with Ken Stilo, Chairman of the Cattlemen's Beef Board, during this week's event.
Starting about 20 years ago, when the checkoff started up, the livestock markets collect the bulk of the money that's used in the checkoff program. And of course, livestock markets don't get reimbursed to do that. So the whole industry appreciates that greatly. I think that the communication between LMA and the Beef Board is the best it's been maybe ever. We really appreciate the officers and staff at LMA and want to work with them, particularly in producer communications, because they're the people dealing with the producers, and we need to communicate what we're doing to use their dollar.
In addition to representing nearly 800 livestock auction markets in North America, LMA provides the industry with a number of valuable services and key information on vital issues. Lex had a chance to visit with Kristen Hendricks, Vice President of Member Services for LMA.
We're very proud of LMA's membership growth over the past 3 years. We started out at 629 active LMA members, and to date we've had a 25% growth. We're just right at 800 active member markets and dealers. Well, we provide a full range of services. The cornerstone for the association is our government and industry affairs, the representation at the state level and then also in Washington, D.C., managing the legislative and regulatory needs for the auction markets, and then also helping them represent their consignors, the livestock producers. We also provide a livestock board of trade service, which provides clearing for the buyers that are arriving on sale day interested in bidding on cattle. It protects the auction market and in turn protects their producers. The legal assistance service that LMA offers provides the legal advice that all businesses need, helps them to work through the web of regulatory programs, tax questions, employment questions, environmental questions, so that they can protect themselves in the interests of all that they work with. Our newest service is lmaauctions.com, and it's our newest opportunity to increase the visibility of the livestock marketing industry. We're thrilled to have that added to the book of services. And we think that it's an important opportunity for the auction markets to showcase how important true price discovery is to a worldwide audience of potential buyers. And to date, we're currently broadcasting 40 weekly livestock auctions from coast to coast with 8,000 registered bidders. We have a large team of staff at LMA that are dedicated and committed to the success of the LMA annual meeting as well as the World Livestock Auctioneer Championship. It really works hand in hand. We appreciate the fact that the annual meeting functions send our guests home with an education on the latest industry issues. And then the World Livestock Auctioneer Championship is an opportunity for us to showcase how important the auction method of selling and the local livestock auction market is to the rest of the industry.
As Christian mentioned, the WLAC is an important part of the LMA. It's an event that has changed a lot over the years since 1963 when Ed Buckner from Mexico, Missouri won the first contest at the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Denver. That year, 23 contestants sold the same 20 head of cattle over and over again. Over the years, the organization has crowned 43 champions from more than 15 states and Canada. As you're about to see, this incredible event spotlights North America's top livestock auctioneers and the important role they play in the competitive marketing and price discovery of livestock.
The contest was held at hotels until 1967. Since then, the WLAC has been at member markets across the United States and Canada. Recent locations include Missouri, Montana, Tennessee, Kansas, South Dakota, and Alberta, Canada. This year, we're in the heart of America, Springfield, Missouri. Although the rules have changed over the years, the enthusiasm for the competition hasn't. Every year, auctioneers of all ages and all levels of experience come together for this event. Some contestants today have entered and competed 10 times or more. For many others, it will be their first time. The largest championship was in 1981 when 105 auctioneers competed for the title.
This year's championship consists of 3 stages: the regional competition, held in 4 locations across the United States, and the semifinals and final rounds held in conjunction with the LMA annual meeting. Each contestant competing for the World Champion title must be 18 years old, employed as a livestock auctioneer, and sponsored by a livestock auction market. Lex talked with Billy Perrin, chairman of this year's WLAC committee, about all the excitement surrounding this year's event.
We're really excited. We've got a real great slate of auctioneers, and we've got one of the finest livestock market facilities in the United States here. Lots of good cattle. I think we're going to have a great auctioneer contest, and the convention's going real well too.
This year, 98 auctioneers competed at 4 regional competitions at Wythe County Livestock Exchange, Wytheville, Virginia, Ogallala Livestock Auction Market, Ogallala, Nebraska, Sulphur Springs Livestock and Dairy Auction, Sulphur Springs, Texas, and Central Oregon Livestock Auction, Madras, Oregon, with the top 8 contestants in each region qualifying for the WLAC semifinals here in Springfield. Today's WLAC semifinals competition featured the 32 contestants qualified for the regional championships and the reigning international auctioneer champion who receives an automatic buy.
During the live auction, the 33 semifinalists are scored by a panel of 5 LMA members with tremendous experience in the livestock marketing industry. Judges base their scores on set criteria, including the clarity of the contestant's auction chant and voice quality, bid catching ability, conduct of the sale, and if the judge would hire this auctioneer. The first step towards the championship title for the 33 semifinalists in an interview process where a panel of 3 judges question the contestants on current industry issues and topics and score them based on their personal presentation, clarity with which the individual expresses himself, and the knowledge of the livestock industry. Each semifinalist is asked the same question, and the interview score impacts both semifinal and final rounds of competition.
We come to the World Champion Contest with 32 or 3 this year, 33 awful good auctioneers. I think what needs to determine the real true world champion is the man that can articulate an idea or a concept to his peers or to the press or to his customers, to be able to do that and do it in a concise manner. And I think for that reason we need a true spokesman for the industry, and I think this is a fantastic way to help decide that person.
The interview portion of the contest is an important part of the responsibilities of the world champion. Let's take a look at some of the contestants' responses.
What challenges and/or opportunities do you see the auction markets facing today?
I think national ID systems, source and age verification is going to be very, very valuable. I'm personally an advocate of a voluntary ID system. I think that it would add in that competitive atmosphere. Like we just spoke about an auction market, I think they could add value, and the dividends would be at auction. I guess when I look at it as a challenge to try to make livestock higher, so trying to add value. I guess I relate it to the auction market that way.
How important do you feel that our local livestock auction markets are to our livestock industry today?
I think it's very important to have the local livestock markets because we are the connection between the producers and the feeders. You know, without the local livestock, we get them a fair price. We find out what the true value is of the cattle. And a good way to look at that is some guys like to go to the country and buy cattle, but I tell our customers they come to the country to buy cattle for one reason, because they can buy them cheaper with no competition. If you have the competition, you're going to get a better price.
Well, I would like to know what your personal opinion is on mandatory cattle identification and what effect you see that has on the livestock marketing industry.
Well, I think we talked yesterday in the fairs meeting about not being mandatory but being voluntary. I think we, again, need to be aware of what impact this ID program is going to have on our whole realm of the livestock industry. It's just it's just overwhelming to most people, and we need to have everybody aware of what the ID program is. And as they said yesterday, they want to be voluntary, and you know, I just think everybody needs to be aware. We need to try to teach people about the program and let them be able to see through the program, not make them feel like it's a hindrance, but it's a help.
As you can tell from the interview process, there are a number of issues that the livestock producers and the auction markets are facing today. Lex talked with Nancy Robinson, Vice President of Government and Industry Affairs, about some of these issues.
Well, we've got a full range of issues for sure with our association and in representing our members both on Capitol Hill and at the regulatory agencies like USDA and EPA, et cetera. Everything from the environment, which affects our markets in terms of being a concentrated animal feeding operation, to animal rights, animal welfare issues, packers and stockyards administration reforms or regulations that affect directly our markets as that agency regulates our markets. We also deal with competition issues as more and more of the livestock industry becomes consolidated. So we have a full range of issues that we have to deal with on Capitol Hill. We do a Washington, D.C. fly-in of our members annually now, and that's a big help. And we try to work in partnership with a lot of other livestock industry organizations to gain consensus on those issues that are of concern to our members.
And he also spoke with Congressman Charles Stenholm of Texas, who now serves as the legislative consultant for LMA in Washington, D.C.
I think LMA and most people in animal agriculture understand that some form of animal ID and traceback is going to be a requirement for our industry in the not too distant future. The question is how you do it. And when I was in Congress, I always advocated a voluntary, mandatory program. Everybody would smile and say, how can you have a voluntary mandatory? Well, it's pretty easy. Voluntarily, you get the whole industry together and decide what's the most efficient way, and efficient being defined is the least cost to the producer. If you haven't been on a farm or ranch in the last 5 years, you don't understand agriculture today. It's changing dramatically. Even those of us that spend our life in it, there's so much we don't know about different facets. And this is where organizations like LMA, and we're talking about livestock markets now, if you don't use the tremendous talent that you've got working for you, and you don't participate yourself in backing them up by talking to members of Congress and your state legislatures as well about the challenges of your industry and what we ought to be doing, then guess what? The Humane Society and the PETAs of the world will be telling their story.
We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Fort Dodge Animal Health knows your animals are an important part of your way of life. That's why we're committed to providing you with a complete family of livestock vaccines and pharmaceuticals to protect your investments, save you time, and ensure quality and safety in your operation. Your herd and your horses are important to you. That's why they're important to us. Fort Dodge Animal Health. For more information on our entire family of livestock products, visit us online.
In today's competitive beef market, a brand means more than ever before, and Tri-Merit is adding value to your brand. Tri-Merit is the convenient, comprehensive online data management system that redefines branding to maximize productivity and increase marketability. Tri-Merit provides agent source verification and much more. Plus, it's secure, flexible, and easy to use. To find out how Tri-Merit can add value to your brand, go to trimerit.com.
Now that the interview process is complete, we jump into the semifinal auctioneering competition here at the beautiful Springfield Livestock Marketing Center. Each contestant sells 8 drafts of cattle and is judged on the same criteria as before: clarity of their chant, bid catching ability, conduct of the sale, and would the judge hire this auctioneer?
John, the Springfield Livestock Marketing Center has continued the tradition of hosting a first-class championship. We should recognize the owners of the market: Jack Frost, Jack Creed, Pete Sumners, Ed Ford, Kelly Crane, Joe Gammon, Tom and Tonto Cassie, and their entire staff for all the hard work they put into getting this great facility ready. I visited with Tonto Cassie earlier today about all the preparation and hard work that goes into putting on this great event.
How many cattle have you got on the sale today?
We're probably looking at about 4,500 head today.
And how many people would you estimate here are crowd? Because this is overflowing capacity. You got them on the catwalks and in other rooms. How many people do you expect here?
Yeah, we're pretty full. We're looking at 1,000 to 1,200 people, and I'd say they're here. Looks like it.
I think yes, them plus a few more. How long has it taken you and your staff to prepare for this contest?
Well, we knew about it 2 years ago, and we've worked on it pretty hard since then, but just the last 3 months to really get the cattle consigned and get with our producers and see what we could come up with. But it's been a real pleasure. There's never been a day of work to it. It's just really been fun putting it together for you guys.
This is a wonderful venue for hosting the World Livestock Auctioneer Championship. For the last 6 hours, the semifinal competition has been going on with each auctioneer selling 8 drafts of cattle. We had a lot of quality cattle go through the ring so far today, and a lot of good auctioneers calling the sale and taking bids. While an auctioneer is competing on the block, the remaining contestants are sequestered in a holding area outside. Lex visited with several auctioneers as they waited for their chance to compete.
What do you do to prepare for this versus the first 2-3 years that you were in it? Now do you guys play cards? You tell jokes? You tell lies? What do you guys? You pace? You chant? What do you do?
All of the above, Lex. We do all of the above. It seems the longer you're here, the more relaxed you get. I feel like the competition is getting stiffer and stiffer. I tell you, it's unreal how tough these guys are. This is going to be a really good competition.
I guess probably the best advice I had when I first started, one of my sponsors told me, he said, just go do your job. Probably the best way to relax, just go do your job.
The first time I went, I was barely 20 years old, and I was real cocky that I was going to win it. And over the past 14 years, I've been humbled quite a bit to where it'll be a real honor to win it because it's a real challenge. I'm real relaxed in the auctioneering part of it. It's just what you do on a normal day-to-day basis. Go in there and get the most for the cattle you possibly can. Don't miss any bids.
Now that the semifinal auctioneering rounds have been completed, the judges have selected this year's top 10 finalists. Let's listen as reigning champion David Macedo announces them from the block.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 1, Ty Thompson from Billings, Montana. Contestant number 2, Trent Stewart from Redmond, Oregon. Contestant number 3, Matt Lowry from Burwell, Nebraska. Contestant number 4, Lance Cochran from Medford, Oklahoma. And I know that. I've known Lance his whole life. Tom Fry, Creston, Iowa. Brandon Neely from Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. Gabe Spikes from Bowie, Texas. Kent Korrey from Metropolis, Illinois. Jim Knott from Bosque Farms, New Mexico. And your last finalist, Justin Dotson from Welch, Oklahoma.
John, These are some of the top livestock auctioneers, and the judges will have their work cut out for them in choosing this year's runner-up, reserve champ, and champion auctioneers. For some of the contestants, this part of the competition can be stressful as they wait their turn in the auction block to perform in front of the packed stands and the buyers and the judges. They will all have to wait until later to find out just how they did. Boy, do I remember those times waiting and wondering if I made the cut.
Let's watch Justin Dodson from Welch, Oklahoma, as he competes in this final round.
Look here, man. Look here, the black-hided cattle. Oh, there's a nice set of heifers. Look here, man. Right there. How many dollars? You said 90, 91. Hit a 91 to the bill. 90, hit a 91. Hit a 90 to the bill. Hit a money. Not one, not 2, 3 to the bill. Hit a 93 to the bill. 2, 3 to the 4. 94 to the bill. $95. And now 6 to the bill. 7 97 to the bill. Now 97. 6 to the 7 97 to the bill. Higher. Hit a 97 and a half. And hit a 8 to the bill. 98 to the bill. Hit a 7 half 8 to the bill. 97 half 8 to the bill. $8 $8 to the bill, 97 $8 to the bill, 97 8. Sold them for $97.50. Put them on 130 on 11X. Buyer 130 on order 11X. And here we go, guys. I'm bid 85 now, 6 to the bill. 85 to 5, I'm going to pay 6 to the bill, 7. Now 87 to 87, 87, 89, 89 to 90, to 91, and 91 to the bill. Now 112, 2 to the bill on 3, 93 to the bill, 4, 4 to 94 to the 5, $95. 94.50, 5 to the bill, 5 and a half, 95 and a half, now $6. And now high, 96 and a quarter high. 96 and a half, 75, 96 and a half, 65, 96 and a half, $7. 97 and a quarter, 7 and a quarter, 7 and a half. And been 97 and a half, and been 97 and a quarter now, 7 and a half, 97 and a quarter, 7 and a half. Now 75 and 97, 75, 775. Now 8 to the bin, 98 quarter. 98 quarter, 98 quarter. Now 98 higher and 75 and 98, 75, 99 to the bill, 99. 99 now 98, 75, 98, sold them for 98, 75. Put them on 130. I'm bid 85, 86 to the bill. Now 85 to 5, 85 now $6. 85 to 86 to the bill. Now 86 to the bill, 7, 87 to the bill, 77 to the bill. 86 7, 86 7, 87 $8. 88 to the bill, 88 90 to the bill, 90 and a half, and 90 50 now 1 to the half, and 91 to the 2 to the 92 to the $2, and 91 and a half, and it could be 2 to the bill, and 92 50, 3 to the bill, and 93 and it could be higher, and 93 what about a half 4, 94 to the bill for 4 and a half, and 94 50, 94 and a quarter now, and 94 and a half, and it could be 75, 94 75, and 94 75 5, 95 5 to the bill, and 95 5 to the bill, 95 5 and a quarter, 95 and a quarter high, and 95 50, 5 and a half, 75 5, $6, and 96 to the bill, and 96 and now 6 and a quarter, and 96 and a quarter high, and 96 and a 75, 96 75, 65 $7, 97 and a quarter, 97 and a quarter, 7 and a quarter high, and 97 and a half, 75 $7, now $8, 98 to the bill, 8 and a quarter, 98 and a quarter, a quarter higher, and 98 and a half, 75, 75, 98, 75, 9, and 99 now 99 to the bill, 98 $9, 98 75, 98 75, 9, sold them 98 75, put them on buyer number 130 on order 11X. 130 on order 11X.
John, we just heard from Justin Dodson. This is pretty typical of the 22 different states represented across the United States in this great competition. Justin is somebody that has always got great appearance. He's got great command of the sale. He always looks very immaculate, and his appearance is great. But he has a little different style. He is from Oklahoma. He has a faster chant, a little more rhythmic, and a little speedier, as you see sometimes down in the South. Somebody is always very well presented, and I would have no problem hiring him any day either.
Well, I sure agree, Lex. And to make a faster chant, filler words are a great example, whether to take filler words out or leave them in. And as you notice, Justin, very few filler words, but the breathing he takes, the breath he takes in that microphone, you can't hardly hear him take a breath. And his chant is crisp and clear, and does an outstanding job. Now let's watch Tom Fry from Creston, Iowa.
$90, 91, 94 to the bottom of 2, 91, 2, 3, 93 to the bottom of $6, 96, 7, 7, 7, 8, 9, now, ham, now, wait, now, ham, 98 to the ham, 9, 99 to the half of ham, 9, 99 to the 9, ham, dollar, now, ham, $1, 50, $50, $1, 75, $1, $1, 75, $1, quarter, $1, $150, $50, $150, $1.75, $1.75 at a $2, $2 and a quarter, $1.02, $2 at a $2, $2 at a quarter. You try 'em again, $2 now quarter. Sold a cattle at $2 at a $2. That's number 150. Go 130. Go 4X. 130 on 4X. Thank you. I'll tell you what, David, it's a great day, great cattle, great condition, guys. I'll tell you what, Kelly, you put it all together today. I turn right on same deal. I turn down 90, 91, 91, 92, 3, 3, 3, 6, 92, 7, 7, 7, 99, give it $1, $99, I am $1. Now I am $1, $1, $1, 50, 50, 1, quarter, 1, I did 150, 50, 70, $175, $175, at a $2, $2, a quarter, $2, $2, a quarter, I am $250, 75, $275 down $3, $3 down quarter, $3 and a quarter, $350, 53 and a quarter, Bobby on Trivan, 3 and a quarter, $3 and a quarter, $350, $3 and a quarter, $350, sold them at $3 and a quarter. Put them right on there. 130 4X. 130 on 4X. Oh, little old light green grazers, guys. Oh, look at that deal. Heifer dolls. Little old vaccinated heifers, guys. Green, green. Look at that deal. $10, $10, $10, $10, $10, $10, 30, 30, 30, 30, 14, 14, 14, $30, $14, $14, 15, $15, 16, 16, $16, 17, $17, half, 17, 17, half, $17, half, 18, $18, $18, half, $18, half, 19, half, 99, 20, 20, 20, half, 20, half, 20, 50, 20, 50, 50, 20, half, 1, 40, 50, now 1, 40, half, now 2, 22, to the hand, 2 and a hand, 3, 23 to the hand, 3 and a hand, 4, and now hand, 40, 4 to the hand, 5, 5 to the hand, 5 to the hand, 5 to the hand, 125, 56 to the, a 146 to the hand, 6 to the hand, to the hand, to the 7, a 147, 7 to the hand, 7 to the hand, to the hand, 28 to the hand, down 9, 29 to the hand, and now 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 to the hand, 30 time to the bone, 30, 50, 50, 130 down, how, $1.30, 50, $1.30 to hand, to the down, 30, 50, 50, 130, 51, 30, 50, one try him again, 30, 50, sold a cattle at $1.30.
Well, John, that's our good friend Tom Fry from Creston, Iowa. Tom is a big, tall, powerful man. He's about 6'4". He had a very nice run, I felt. He has very good command and control of the auction. What I liked about Tom there, he had a very nice run there, picked up the bidders there to his left, and before he was done, he swept the ring, caught another bid up there high right, and got a couple more dollars for the consignor.
I couldn't agree with you more, Lex. He conducted the sale in a professional manner. He created the urgency to bid and had some rhythm and entertaining factors in his chant, which is always pleasant to listen to when you're listening to a good auctioneer, especially at the World Championship contest here this afternoon. Let's watch Trent Stewart out of Redmond, Oregon, as he competes in the final round of competition.
I am 750, down and 75. I am 7.5, down and 75, and 800, and 770, down and quarter, down and 800, and 20, down and open the gate, gentlemen. He down and quarter, $800 is bid, down quarter, down and 20, down and 800, and 20, down and 10, and 10, down and 810, down and $800, he 10, he down and 10, 10, everybody, he down and 10, sold $800 even. I get a buck here, hit 1, hang up on the 2, down auctions on, hang up on the 2, hit 2, down 3, down 105, 106, down 7, down 8, 108, 9, and down 10, and 10, down 11, down from down 12, from down half here on 12, hit 12, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, down 13, down 13 and a half, from down 13 here on half, you get a buck 13, 50, down 13, 50, down 13 here on 50, sold to 113 even, put them on 304 on 7X, gets them. You get 110, 11, down 10, down 11, down 12, banging from down 13, down 14, down 15, down 16, down 17, down 18, 18, down 19, down 19, 18, 19, 18, down 19, down 20, down 20, down 20, down 19, down 20, with 19, 50, down 19 and a half, down 19, 50, down bids here, 19, down half, 19, 50, down 19, 50, sold $1.19 even. 13, 14, 14, 13, 14, 13 here now, 14, 14 here, 15, $15, hanging 15, 16, hanging 16, 17, 17, 16, half here, 17, 17, 17, 50, half, 17 and a half, 18, 18, 8 over here, 18, 17 and a half, 18, 17, 50, 18, 18, 18, sold them to $117.50, the same ticket. Same way, gets them. Very good. Appreciate it.
Well, Lex, we just watched Trent compete in the finals, and an auctioneer that exemplifies a well-rounded auctioneer. As you can see, he's pleasant to listen to. He's got that crispness in his chant. He's got great eye contact with the bidders and buyers out there, and just an outstanding auctioneer.
I would agree with you 100% here, John. Trent is somebody that's been here 8 different times, been in the final 6 different times, been second or third numerous times also. He is somebody I really like the way he sweeps the rings and controls, and he misses no bidders, and he's in charge when he's up there. He is also somebody that has a great personality. He interacts well with the crowd, and he loves what he's doing. It is a passion to him, as it is for many of these other contestants. But you know, if we don't see him in the top 3 again, you know, he'll be back next year. But he's somebody that always rises to the top. Next up, we have Ty Thompson, Billings, Montana. Let's watch his auctioneering style.
Little green steers right off them. They're light. I'm there now to $5. Hated to get 6 of them. Hated to get 6 on 7. I'm on 107 of them. Hated to get 100 of them 9. Hated to get 10 of them 11. I'm on 111 to 12. I'm on 113. I'm on 113. Hated to get 13. Hated to get 13. 676 pounders. Give me 12 and a half. I'm on 112 and a half. Hated to get 12 and a half. Little old green black steers. They'll go on. 112 and a half. Hated to get 12 and a half. Hated to get 12's right over here. Need a half. I'm on 112 and a half. Let them go. I'm on 100. Hated to get 12 and a half. Hated to get 12 and a half. Well, speed them up a little bit. Don't you have any pull around here? I'm on 112 and a half. Hated none at all. I'm in a 112 and a half. I got 12. I want a half. I'm in a 112 and a half. Take it, 12 and a half. Take it, 12 and a half. Anybody else? I'm in a 112 and a half. 12 and a half. Sold them at $1.12. That's 304. What number you want them on? 6. 304 on 6. Thank you. You bet. Little steers right off them. Same deal. Over there now to $1.05. Hated to get 600. Hated to get little lightweight 7. I'm on 107. 600. 107. 700. Come on, boys. They're a pretty good set of steers. Weigh 658. Little lighter. I'm on 108. Hated to get half 8. Hated to get 8 and a half. Hated to get 109. Hated to get 100 and a half. I'm on 109 and a half. 10. Hated to get 10 to 100 and a half. Now 11. 11 now half. 11 and a half. 12. I'm on 112 and a half. Hated to get 12 and a half. Pretty green now. I'm on 113. I'm on 113 and a half. I'm on 113 and a half. 14. I'm on 114 and a half. 14 to get 14 and a half. 15. 15 to get 15 and a half. I'm on 115 and a half. 15 to get 16. I'm on 116 and a half. 16 to get 17. 17 to get 17 and a half. 18. 18 and a half. 18 to get 19. 19 to get 19 and a half. 20. 20 to get 20. I'm on 19 and a half. 20. Anybody else here? 20 to get 20. Sold them at $1.19 and a half. 304. 6. 304 on 6. Thank you. Here be heifers right off. There's a pretty nice set of heifers now. Watch these things come in. Nice set of growing heifers right here. What do you say, Kelly? 91. Hated to get 102. Hit 91 2. Hated to get 100. Hated to get 1 and a half. 90. Hated to get 100 and a half. 2. Hated to get 90. Hated to get 10 to 2 and a half. At 92 and a half. 3. Hated to get 3 and 100. 100. Hated to get 400 and a half. Quite a ways back. The steers all day now. 94 and a half. 90. Hated to get 5. At 95. Hated to get 100. 100. Hated to get 5 and a quarter. Half. 95 and a half. 70. Hated to get 75. 6 on them. 96 and a quarter. At 96 and a half. 96 and 100. 70. Hated to get 700. 97. 7 and a quarter. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 97, 75, at $98, hated to get 8 and a quarter, hated to get 8 and a half, 90, hated to get 70, hated to get 9, hated to get 100 and a quarter, at 99 and a quarter, pretty good kind, 90, hated to get 120, hated to get 120, hated to get 25, sold them, $99 right here on the corner, $99, 130, put them on 7X, 130 on 7X, 130 on 7X.
Lex, we just watched Ty compete, and his style varies from some of the other auctioneers. A very professional auctioneer in his own right, commands attention of everyone when he steps up to the microphone. Product knowledge is a plus for Ty. He's very knowledgeable about livestock. His chant is smooth and rhythmic and has some clarity to it.
He's a seasoned veteran. He's been in 10 of these, and young man, he never missed a bid. He moves the sale along very well. He interacts with the crowd very well, as you saw as he did with the man going outside there. And he was somebody that on any given day I'd sure hire and feel very comfortable with behind the microphone.
Lex had the opportunity to visit with Ty after the competition.
Ty, You just finished in the finals, just were the first gunner there to make it in the top 10. How did you feel about your goal?
I was real confident in it. I felt strong. The buyers bid right along to us. I had awful good cattle. The sale flowed well, and I felt real confident in it.
What would it mean for you if you won the World Championship?
You know, it was a goal I set when I first started auctioneering. I'd like to win the World Championship, and it sounded then a lot easier than it is now. I've kind of been humbled over the years, and I think it'd be quite an honor to win it just because you're judged by your peers, you're judged by other people in the livestock marketing industry, and it's a lot harder to attain than one might think.
We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
In today's competitive beef market, a brand means more than ever before, and Tri-Merit is adding value to your brand. Tri-Merit is the convenient, comprehensive online data management system that redefines branding to maximize productivity and increase marketability. Tri-Merit provides agent source verification and much more. Plus, it's secure, flexible, and easy to use. To find out how Tri-Merit can add value to your brand, go to trimerit.com.
One important note about this year's championship is that the regional qualifying event attracted many first-time competitors. 9 qualified to this event, and these rookies are holding up well against more seasoned auctioneers in the interview session as well as the semifinal round. Lex visited with this year's Rookie of the Year, the highest scoring first-time contestant, Brandon Neely from Berkeley Springs, West Virginia.
Hey, congratulations. Just crowned Rookie of the Year, got through that preliminary round, and here you are back in the semifinals or the finals. How do you feel?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I feel great. And it's more of an opportunity to be able just to be in the competition among 33 of the contestants. Then to win the championship in the Eastern region and come here and make the top 10 and be Rookie of the Year is a real accomplishment.
When you got up this morning, did you just have a good feeling about things? It was going to be your kind of day?
Well, it was kind of like the regional competition. When I went to the regional competition, the first thing I felt was, I hope I make the top 8. This morning when I got up, the first thing I felt was, I hope I make the top 10. I made the top 10 and be crowned Rookie of the Year. I've done more than I've ever expected to do at my age.
How did you get your start?
Well, I grew up going to cattle auctions with my grandfather. He raised a few feeder cattle. And basically, I always enjoyed listening to Auctioneer. And when I'd get home, I would always act like I was an auctioneer and sell cattle, and I just kept practicing and practicing. Finally, when I was about 15 years old, I went to Harrisonburg, Virginia, to cattle sale to an auctioneer that sold there, which was a real mentor to me, Mr. Colonel Gary Vance. And I told him, I said, Gary, I said, I'm going to be an auctioneer one of these days. And he said, well, come on down to the box and sell some. And that day on, they hired me. And it was a Saturday sale, and I didn't have school, so I worked every Saturday in Harrisonburg. And that's where I got my start.
What advice would you give to another young auctioneer?
The main thing I can encourage is to practice as much as you can. Don't ever doubt yourself, because I never in my life would have dreamed that I would be an Eastern champion or even in the World Champion competition. So anybody that would think that, well, I'm not going to compete because I'm not good enough or I wouldn't make it, don't ever doubt yourself, because you can win just as easy as anybody.
Lex, that was some great auctioneering we witnessed in the final round of competition. We had a packed house here at Springfield Livestock Marketing Center, and while we wait for the judges to tally the results and for the awards program to begin, let's get to know outgoing champion David Macedo from Tulare, California. Lex had a chance to visit with David earlier this week during the competition.
Tell us a little bit about your 2006 World Championship, some of the miles traveled, some of the people you met, and how many places, and etc.
Well, you know, it's actually been a great year for me and for my family, you know, kind of a tribute to them and all their hard work. Give you a little of my background. My family built a livestock market back in the 1930s, my grandfather, and I'm third generation at the livestock market. So kind of a big thrill for my family for this honor being bestowed upon me. And I tried to take full advantage of it in the last year. I traveled over 20,000 miles, either by plane or by car. As a young man growing up in a dairy market out in California, my dream was always to get to sell some of these big feeder markets and these big cattle markets, and got to realize that this year. I got to go to your market, which was a big excitement for me. Some of the most beautiful country I've ever seen. I went to markets in Oklahoma, in Kansas, Missouri, actually 14 states I made appearances in, 35 different markets. You know, if God came down and said, hey, I'm going to let you live a dream for a year, he couldn't have picked a better dream for me than I got to live in the last year.
Tell me, how many contests were you in before you won the World Championship?
10 contests. I went 10 years, had some great successes and had some years that weren't so good, but I try to explain to people now I was the champion at one contest, but really at every contest you win. You win something, a friendship, a life experience, a contact. I wouldn't trade those 10 years for any 10 years I've lived, that's for sure.
Thanks, Lex, for the visit with David. He's been a great ambassador for our profession over the last year. I know he put a lot of miles on that Champion truck, made 35 special appearances at auction markets across the country, and enjoyed meeting thousands of people in the livestock industry. We're certainly proud of David and all he has done this past year.
I also had an interesting visit with two other past World Livestock Auctioneering Champions during today's competition. 1974 champ Ralph Wade from Chickasha, Oklahoma, and 2005 champion Ron Kreis from Adamsville, Ohio. Ralph, tell me the first contest that you were in, where it was at, and then how many contests since then?
The first contest, Lex, that I entered was in 1972, and it was in Sealy, Texas, which is down south of Houston, right on the Gulf Coast. And that was the first year that I entered. I was pretty wet behind the ears, and went down we were staying there at the Astroworld Hotel, which I'd just barely been out of the county where I was raised back in Missouri at that time. And which this is kind of homecoming for me. See, I was born and raised not too far north of here, and but that was the first contest that I ended up in. I won the contest in 1974, and it was at the World's Fair in Spokane, Washington, which was quite a event going on to be there, and the people that were there. And we did get the gold microphone. I think Dick DeWeese has given that gold microphone since day one that they started having the World's Champion Livestock Auctioneer Contest, which Ed Buckner, who was a gentleman that first World's Champion auctioneer that I had the opportunity to work under for about 8 years, and will without a doubt credit that man for where I got to.
Now, Ron, in retrospect here, you're the 05 champion. Tell the people how what were some of the gifts and awards that you won?
I was real fortunate there in 05 down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. First gift that I wanted was the buckle that they presented. I mean, that's key for me. I think that's a symbol of the livestock industry, as a big buckle to show all your friends. And I did also receive a ring. There was a Billy Cook rope and saddle that was tooled up very, very nice. There's also a pickup that after all the awards that they give out that night, they shook the keys, and I forgot all about it. I mean, it just floored me. But there's also the Golden Mike, Golden Gavel Award. There was
plus $5,000.
$5,000 in cash, which was nice. The best gift was traveling all over and selling at all these markets that they allow you to do, and showcasing what we do for a living. And I think that, to me, has been the greatest gift as far as the people that I met and the contacts. Because in Ohio, we don't see a whole lot of the larger cattle industry. We're a lot smaller, and I got to sell cattle that you're fine established here in Torrington, and just to see the numbers come through the ring, it just blows a guy away.
John, that was a lot of fun talking with Ralph and Ron about their championship experiences. As Ron mentioned, the title of World Champion not only brings tremendous recognition, but some great prizes as well. This year, those prizes include a custom-made Resist All hat, World Champion ring and belt buckle, Special Champion sculpture, and $5,000 in cash, plus the use of the specially detailed World Champion Chevy truck during this reign. We'll be right back.
In today's competitive beef market, a brand means more than ever before, and Tri-Merit is adding value to your brand. Tri-Merit is the convenient, comprehensive online data management system that redefines branding to maximize productivity and increase marketability. Tri-Merit provides agent source verification and much more. Plus, it's secure, flexible, and easy to use. To find out how Tri-Merit can add value to your brand, go to trimerit.com.
Let's join David Macedo at the awards banquet as he says his farewell and announces this year's runner-up, reserve champion, and champion.
You know, I'm not a real emotional guy most of the time, but you know, throughout this year I tended to get that way from time to time because coming from a small market in California and being able to go the places that I was able to go was more than a dream. You just couldn't imagine what I was allowed to do, what I was encouraged to do, and how I felt about it, how humbled I was. And you know, first I have to start this little speech, and I'm going to keep it quick because I know what it's like to be in the top 10 guys' shoes right now. But I have to thank God. I have to thank God for the talent and the opportunity and the life and the family that He gave me, and the circle of friends that have become you, ladies and gentlemen, that sit in this crowd. Man does not earn this. He has given this respect through the grace of God. One of the things I'll remember last year, sitting in Escalon, not really feeling like my name was going to be the one that was called, and I truly mean that. And today, guys, I know how you're all feeling. That was such a wonderful contest. But Ronnie Christ, of all people, will forever ring in my ears something he said that night, right before they flashed my chant and my picture up on that. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you your 2006 World Champion, not the 2006 World Champion." I want to thank each and every one of the markets for allowing me the privilege to be at your market. You humble me once again.
Well, the time has finally arrived that we've all been waiting for as we crown our new World Livestock Auctioneer Champion for 2007.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with your LMA runner-up champion. If I could have the envelope, please. Your 2007 World Livestock Auctioneer runner-up champion is Tom Pye, Princeton, Iowa. Ladies and gentlemen, 2007 Preserve World Champion is Ty Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 4 regional contests and a Canadian champion getting a bye into this contest. This is more than just 2 days of work. This is months and months of work that has culminated for this moment. Your World Champion Livestock Auctioneer will receive the Gold Microphone Award from the Missouri Auction School in Shawnee Mission, Kansas. The Golden Gavel Award, sponsored by the Worldwide College of Auctioneering in Mason City, Iowa. A 100X Resistol hat presented by PFI Western Store from right here in Springfield. And the Springfield Livestock Marketing Center will present the World Championship ring. LMA will present the champion with the following awards: a limited edition champion sculpture, a 2007 World Livestock Auctioneering Championship belt buckle made by Guest Silversmiths, and a check for $5,000, as well as the World Championship truck, a brand new 2007 Chevy Silverado Extended Cab 1500 from Lindsay Chevrolet in Lebanon, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, this was one tough contest, and your 2007 World Champion Livestock Auctioneer is Trent Stewart of Redmond, Oregon.
Well, fellas, I'm not prepared to make a speech tonight, but what I can say is that I want to dedicate this to every contestant, not only that's out there tonight, but that I've competed with over the years, even further back than that, really, because they were people, men that I looked up to. This is for you. I want to make that dedication. With that, I'll try to be a great champion. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate it. Can you say hi?
Hi.
One thing about it, she's not scared of people. I know that. She loves all of you. Thank you very, very much, and good night.
Wow, what an exciting time here in Springfield at the 2007 World Livestock Auctioneer Championship and Livestock Marketing Association annual meeting. Lex, every year the contest and quality of auctioneers just keeps getting better and better.
Congratulations again to Trent Stewart from Redmond, Oregon, the 2007 World Livestock Auctioneer Champion. We're happy for him and his family, and I know he's excited and looking forward to a tremendous adventure in the coming year.
On behalf of the Livestock Marketing Association and its nearly 800 auction market members across the country, and tonight's sponsors, Fort Dodge Animal Health, Tri-Merit, and Resistol, I hope you enjoyed the 2007 World Livestock Auctioneer Championship. Thanks for being a part of this wonderful experience. We hope to see you next year at the 2008 LMA Annual Meeting and World Livestock Auctioneer Championship from Durant, Oklahoma.
So long.
That was superior.